I grew up in the 80s. Yes, I did. I was a teenager in the 80s, high school and everything. And for those of us that grew up in the 80s, gentlemen, do y'all remember you had to put in work just to get a girl's phone number? You had to put in work to get a girl's phone number. And if you also remember, in those days, there was a thing called shame. A lot of young sisters in those days dressed modestly. Because why? They didn't want to be called freaks. They didn't want to be called 304s. They didn't want to be called skeezers. You know what I'm saying? Fast, tramp. They didn't want to be called those things. So they dressed modestly. Even though a lot of them may be today what we call jump-offs, back then they were undercover. Why? Shame. Also, a lot of young sisters back then, if you were a teenager making a baby, if you were a teenager and pregnant, you stood out like a sore thumb. Shame. People shamed you. Your family shamed you. Your classmates shamed you. Your homegirls shamed you. Okay? That word had a lot of us in check because we did not want to embarrass or bring shame to our father or to our mother or to our family. So we behaved properly. Fast forwarded to today. Shame is no longer a thing in our community. It's no longer a thing. Everybody just goes around and does as they please. You understand what I'm saying? Making babies now outside of wedlock is a trend. It's common now. It's so common to the point where you meet a female and she doesn't have any baby or baby daddy. Something is wrong with her. Like, it's strange. You understand what I'm saying? Today in America, it is strange to see a black woman that's attractive, that's in her 20s and early 30s without having children. Let that sink in, my brothers and sisters. Let that sink in. That's how bad things has gotten. Why? Because we threw away shame. And why are we talking about shame today? Well, I tell you why. Our good sister Claire TV sent me a link, okay? And when I watched this link, I was trying to find out who she was. And I clicked on the homepage, and they gave me this profile right here. Hustlers in the Hood. It's a big platform with 2.5 million followers. And I looked around, no, this is not her. So I clicked out and did more research, and I finally found her own personal Instagram. And for those that will be watching this, please go and show our good sister some love. It's called Marriage Inc. That's her IG, okay? Hello, welcome to Reactions and Reviews. I'm your humble host, Eze. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the show. And as you can see, it says Shannon and Shirley Austin. So she is married. And read on. She's a marriage coach, and it says married for 28 years. Married 28 years. And when someone that's been married this long, when they talk, I tend to listen. Whether it's a man or a woman, when they talk, I tend to listen.
Women have a hard time taking responsibility. We have a hard time being shown ourselves. And I've come to realize that women are very, very prideful. Like, men have egos, but women are very prideful. And the reason why we have a hard time being shown who we are is because the opposite of pride is shame. And we don't want to feel that shame because it is very painful. But let me tell you something. You have nothing to be shameful about simply because you're imperfect. We are all imperfect. One of the best gifts you can give your husband is when he says, babe, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I see in you. This is where you can improve. This is the adjustments I think that you can make, is to sit back and think about it and then say, you know what, babe, I can see where I could do better in that area. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. I don't want you to feel that way, right? Eat it, because that's going to give you the relationship you're actually fighting for.
It seems like her Instagram. It seems like her Instagram is motivational and positive and things of that nature, which I like that. I love that. I love that. So let's say this one when it says, "Where you going to be?" Let's check that one out.
You know, early on in my marriage, when Shannon and I would get into huge blow-ups and arguments and disagreements, you get to the point where you're like, okay, let me do what it takes. Right? Let me do what it takes. And so I would start doing the work, and then I would get frustrated because I'm like, well, I'm doing the work, but I don't see the rewards of my work. And so then I would stop. Well, it wasn't until I realized that This whole dynamic of relationships is not about doing, but it's about being. That because when I do, that means I'm doing it. I'm sitting back, and in my mind I'm saying, okay, I'm waiting for you to respond to what I'm doing so that you could give me what it is that I need. But it's not until I started living in the space of being. That means it doesn't matter what Shannon does or does not do, what he says or does not say. I'm going to be who it is that I want to be as a human being, as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, period. Whether Shannon's in the picture or not, Shannon cannot exist. Who is Shirley going to be? How is Shirley going to show up? That means I had to build a foundation of principles. If you are not willing to build a foundation of principles, if you are not willing to stop looking at what is my spouse or my person going to give me in return, because this is what I'm doing, then I guarantee you, that's why you're having issues in your relationship.
If you made it this far, hit that like button and leave a comment to trigger YouTube's algorithm. So hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to let you know every time I upload a new video. My brothers and sisters, did y'all hear that? She is 100% right. God bless this sister. She is 100% right. And I always say this, for those of you that has been following me from day one, if you guys remember, I always say this. Being feminine is not something a woman can switch on and off when they please. However, sisters tend to think that's what it is. I'm going to be masculine till I meet a man that's going to bring out the femininity in me. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. I'm sure you guys have heard that. Women always say, well, if I meet a man, based on him making me safe, based on the way he treats me, based on the way he handles his business and our relationship, then I will rest in my femininity. That's nonsense. Like this sister said, you have to be. You have to be. You can't be a feminine just so a man can come and treat you a certain way. No, you have to be what you are. That has to be who you are. You have to be feminine. You have to be nurturing. You have to be loving. You have to be kind. You have to be submissive. That has to be who you are. Not, let me be this way so I can attract a man. Because what happens after that? When you attract that man, a year later, your true colors will start to show. If you like to argue, it will start to come out. If you're combative, it will start to come out. If you're argumentative, it will start to come out. Whoever you are, 6 months, a year later, it will start to show. And if that man is a masculine man that knows who he is, if the real you starts showing its face, 8 times out of 10, he's not going to like it. And guess what's going to happen? He's going to leave. He's going to leave. Now, what do you guys think? Do you agree or do you disagree? Either way, leave your comments below so we can start this conversation. Until the next video, stay safe in the streets. Later. That will wrap it up for today's episode. And thank you for joining me. So please, leave a comment below. If you agree, if you disagree, it doesn't matter. Leave the comment below. And also, you tell me what you want me to cover. You tell me what you want me to discuss and what you want me to react to, okay? And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next episode. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's rebuild the Black nuclear family. It is needed, okay? God bless.